If I were to meet those who kidnapped me and even those who tortured me, I would kneel and kiss their hands. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Andy, and this is Mindset Matters More. And the quote that I just read was from Saint Josephine Bakhita. And I want to tell the story about her, and then I want to talk to you guys about it because I think this is such an important lesson to really internalize. So, Saint Josephine Bakhita is a saint who endured some crazy horrors like slavery. Um, and, she wound up escaping and joining uh, religious sisters and became a nun, I believe. And so, after all of these horrors that she had endured, like since she was 8 years old, one of her students had asked her what she would do if she met one of her captors or her former owners, because remember, she was a slave. And she said, if I were to meet those who kidnapped me and even those who tortured me, I would kneel and kiss their feet. For if these things had not happened, I would not have been a Christian and a religious today. And I think that this is such a beautiful thing. And I want to talk about why I think it's so beautiful because I spent a lot of times really blaming others for my current situation. Not today, but what the current situation was. And I've been through some horrors in my life. I've been through my own trauma. I've been through my own level of fucked upness that, nobody should endure. I would not wish what happened to me on my worst enemies. Because what happened to me, there was a lot of SA, there was a lot of starvation, there was a lot of abuse, physical, there was fear, there was rage, there was a whole bunch of stuff that is going there. And when I finally decided to change my life, I went from being the victim to the survivor. And that in itself is a whole other conversation, but this idea of victimhood, that those people did these horrible things to me, so my life is shit, is, yeah, you know what? Bad things happen to me. I acknowledge that. I know what the worth of that is. But today, I am not being hurt. I am not being essayed. I'm not being abused. I'm not being manipulated. I'm not being force fed drugs. Like, today, my life is good. So, all of these things that happened to me, and I know people are going to fucking hate that I say this, they all happened for a reason. They all happened to me for a reason because I had to overcome this. My spirit had to overcome that. My spirit had to go through all of that. And you know why? You know why? Do you know why? Because today I get to tell you guys in full earnest, in full confidence, and real lived experience that even through all of that, you can still have a good life. I am the example. I am the proof that life can change. I am the physical manifestation of truth that life can change. You just have to actually do something about it. You have to know that all of that stuff that happened to me, and here's a good example of how all of these things have happened. So I have given plenty of talks at different groups that are sobriety groups. I mean, we can't name them, but you know what I'm talking about. Um, and I have shared these horror stories. There have been several women who have come up to me to say, yeah, me too. Thank you for sharing that because it feels like my journey is by myself. Like there are other people who are enduring or have endured the shit that I've gone through. I mean, there's people who've gone through worse for sure. But the fact that like I can sit here and tell you guys with no uncertainty in my voice that you can change your life no matter what fucking horror you have been through, like, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can say that. I'm more than grateful. Like, I don't even know what's beyond grateful. Like, I feel blessed. I mean, you don't feel blessed when you're getting your face pounded in. You don't feel blessed when you're being SA'd as a teen. You don't feel that. But it turned me into somebody who is keenly aware of people's emotions. It's turned me into somebody who is empathetic. It has turned me into somebody who has worked through some fucking demons to be here to share with you guys a piece of my soul freely. And I don't know who I would be if I didn't have to go through those things. I don't know if I would be the same person today because I tell you this, the alcoholism isn't because of the abuse. I've been an alcoholic since I was fucking 8 years old. And maybe one day I'll share that story on here. I've been always an alcoholic before the abuse. I've always had alcoholic tendencies. So I didn't become an alcoholic because of all that shit that I went through. All that shit that I went through, I exploited my alcoholism to soothe myself. And I had to go through that. I had to go through that time where I had to numb and medicate. I had to. But I'm here. And again, I can tell you guys what's on the other side of that. When you put in the work, when you turn to a higher power, if you that's what you call it, when you turn to actually looking at yourself and understanding what's going on with you. And this woman who I can tell you, she's been through more than me. I mean, I've been through horrors, but hers are tenfold. And that she can still turn around and say, I would not be the woman I am today without all those horrors, without those people who kidnapped, tortured, SA'd me. I would not be this person today. I would not have found God. I would not have found my place in this world and be able to share my life with people had it not been for that. That was her path. And everybody's got to look at their path as a part of it. You know, maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you can't embrace all the hardships that you've that you've gone through. Maybe you're not there, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not trying to force my journey on anybody. I know that a lot of people will not agree with what I have to say. I know a lot of people will not say, well, I will never appreciate what happened to me or be thankful to those monsters who hurt me. I know that you may never get there. But I do offer you that it is possible. I do offer you that when you do that, you become a whole other person. And let me tell you something. Where I used to live was actually right down the street from somebody who had abused me. It was fucking sick because sometimes I would go out. Actually, one time I went out to dinner with my husband. It was a little takeaway place that was, in the neighborhood. And we went in there, and the man just walked in like nothing had happened. He just looked me dead in my face, gave this fucking sick smile, and I walked out. And I threw up in the parking lot. Like the horrors that happened are very real. They're very real. And yeah, that instance, I could not be grateful to him. I could not look at him and be like, yeah, thank you for abusing me. But right now, as I sit here in safety, as I sit here knowing that my life is safe, I can think, what he did to me, it taught me a lesson. It taught me that I can be strong. It taught me the strength that I have, the level of strength that I have. that not many people will ever come to know. And maybe they shouldn't know how strong they really are. But it's up to me to make sure that you know that you're strong, that you know that you are capable, that you're capable of more. You're capable of love and forgiveness, even when it's hard. And I believe that because you have that capacity, you have the capacity for greatness in you, that you have what it takes to reach whatever goal it is that you want. Because you will never know the depths of your strength until you are tested. Till you are tested hard. I mean, those tests fucking suck. And I don't wish it on anybody. I promise you. I'm not saying I hope you go through hard shit. I'm saying recognize it without those hardships. I'm saying recognize your strength without being tested. Push yourself hard. Know that you can go beyond the limits that you've set for yourself. Break out into this world fearless because you, as a woman, are powerful and strong. You are a creator of life. You have more power in you than you will ever know. And with that, guys, I'm done. I hope you got something out of this. Love you guys. Bye.